it's Mike from EarthWood Media again. Thanks for coming back. Hope you're all well. Well, I'm pleased with this little SV41PRO SVBony and the eyepiece that comes with it, the Zoom Eyepiece, which goes from 28 to 84 times zoom. I've also got the SC002 Digital Eyepiece Camera. What a mouthful. Okay, I'm going to get to testing it and just give you some practical results and see what you think for yourselves. But I'm going to add another camera. There's a little, about the same price point, there's a little camera called the V13, uses a piece of software or app called Viidure. So I'm going to test the two and see how we get on with them, and I'll give you the results as well as all the images. Enjoy. Right, first of all, we need to learn how to point to the sun. It's not as easy as you might think, especially with a big zoom. You've got to have a filter, a correct sun filter over the front of the telescope, and I also use a sun finder as well, which is like a kind of a milky white plastic to, if you like, dilute or take away the sun's harmful effects to your eyes. Never look at the sun with naked eyes. Always use appropriate and approved eye gear or filters. Right. Here you see the sun is at the top left corner of the image. I have positioned the telescope so that the sun comes down, as it comes down in a kind of a diagonal fashion in the afternoon, so that the sun comes down. You can see me adjusting the telescope slightly here so you can see what's going on. And that gives you a chance to actually get ready to take some shots, to press the video record or image record button when you want to. Now, that grey murk you see in the middle there, it's a hazy sky again, and we've got all this horrible murk up in the atmosphere, which is, I believe, barium and aluminium, as well as other horrible toxic things that they reckon they're going to block out the excess heat from the sun with. Say no more about that one for now. Top left, you can see the sun coming into view there with one of the sun holes, or sunspots as they call it. Massive, great big hole, probably about the size of Europe, and yeah, it's blowing gases all over the place. Right, a little bit of a wobble. Now we're trying the SC002. That's an image from that, and please don't make full judgments on it because it's a rotten, hazy day, as I said earlier. And then we go to the V13 Viidure. They're both about 2 megapixels, so not much difference in quality. This was taken the day before when more sunspots were visible, by the way, so that's not a trick of the camera. Just for comparison, I swapped eyepieces at one point. This was on the 11th of March 2026 for a Helios 21.5 to 7.5mm zoom lens. Very slightly better quality. And following this is a still shot, which is a 100% crop, and you can see right into that sunspot or hole. Do you know what? I'm quite happy. I can see that hole in the sun. That is quite incredible. I can actually see a hole in the sun from where I live on Earth. Pretty good. If that isn't as cool as a polar bear's feet, I don't know what is. And that's the kit that I made the shots with. Basically the SVBony SV41PRO with sun filter and other appropriate items. Back to the SVBony, a standard eyepiece. This is the 28 to 84 times zoom. We're on 84 here. You can see a little bit of kind of like a halo effect. That's natural for this amount of light that's coming into the camera through all those, if you like, round pieces of glass. So don't worry about that. You would get that on virtually any device with so many pieces of glass and such a powerful zoom. You can see that I'm zooming in on 84, and I'm trying to keep it in focus here, so I'm moving the telescope slightly. But I think overall, I mean, for what it is, I mean, come on, you're looking at the telescope and standard eyepiece for about £170 in British money, and then the camera I believe was about £60, something like that. I can't remember what I paid for it now. £65, something silly like that. I mean, for that kind of setup that's portable and you can, you know, use it. I mean, obviously you can use it for wildlife and everything else if you want to. I mean, that zoom is quite incredible. We'll have a look at that nearer the end. But you know, I think for this kind of imaging, it's not really meant to image the sun with, but I've done it because I'm like that. I like to be awkward. And we'll go on to the moon in a moment, because you can capture the moon as well. Let's have a look at that, shall we? By the way, on this clip you can see that there's one big hole in the center, but there's another 2 or 3 on the right hand side there, if you can see that. So interesting. Emerging holes, or ones from yesterday that haven't fully closed, I don't know, but yeah, it's quite amazing what you can see. Just for variety, these were taken with a mobile phone, a Moto G8 in fact. There you go. So you got 28, 60 times zoom, and then up to 84 times zoom. Not bad for a camera or camera phone strapped to the eyepiece. This was taken with the V13. Don't like that titling at the bottom. This one was taken with the Helios. About 6 or 12 shots all stacked in a decent photo editor. This one taken with the standard SVBony SC002 camera. Unfortunately, the first one had to be replaced because it had a dead pixel. That became 2 dead pixels, but yeah, this gives you an idea of the quality of the shot. It's been replaced very, very quickly. I have to say, customer service is second to none. Thank you, SVBony, especially the young lady who's blowing me kisses now because I'm such a keen customer. But yeah, good quality products. They've come on a long way in a few years, and they're now celebrating their 9th anniversary, I do believe. So we can look forward to more great things. Okay, let's have a little summary of the 2 different types of cameras and see how we got on. Feel free to pause the video so you can have a look at the pros and cons. This is my list of pros and cons on the 2, and I must say, for the money, I'm going to go with the SC002. It's got a lot more options. By the way, the digital zoom doesn't actually zoom you in for the photo. It doesn't give you a bigger photo. It just helps to zoom in for focusing. That's quite a useful little feature when you think about it. Okay, that's it for now. Any questions or any answers? Especially if you've got answers, please write them on the back of a £20 note, because I'm not getting paid for this, and it would help. Catch you later. Enjoy.